That's it. You see the smile on her face? That means she's very happy with it. Where did this mango come from? There aren't any mangoes on the tree, but yet the chicken found it and probably brought it here and ate it. You must think I don't want mango. I want mango too. You have to get to the mango then before the chickens get it. Soursop, mango, golden apple, passion fruit. Did I yam everything? Hey guys, it's another day of Vlogmas with Caribbean Foodie. Today we are going to be whipping up some stuff in the kitchen with my wonderful Aunt Sarah. She's going to be showing me and us how to make two very popular things here at Christmas time here in the Virgin Islands and in the Caribbean. We'll be making sweetbread, which was included in the Caribbean Foodie goodie box. We're also going to be making ginger beer. Now, ginger beer is not really beer. It's more like a ginger drink, but I call it ginger beer. I don't know why. We'll dive into that a little bit later. We'll even ask my aunt. More than likely, she doesn't know the answer either. Nonetheless, we will still ask her. So let's go ahead and dive into whipping some stuff up in the kitchen with my Aunt Sarah with Caribbean Foodie for Vlogmas. I am here at my Aunt Sarah's house, and I'm here with her hubby Reese. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. In the middle. There you go. Yes, there you go. So we are going to be making two things. The first thing is going to be ginger beer, and then we are going to do sweetbread. They have already prepped the ginger because they can't wait on me to do nothing. So we are going to show you what the prepped ginger looks like and the whole process of that.
Before we even start anything, we prepare the ginger by just scraping it off.
Okay.
And then we chop up all of this, which we have here already.
Okay, got you. So this is the ginger prior to.
Right.
This is what it looks like. How many pieces of ginger did you cut up?
It's about 8 pieces. And
What size are the pieces?
They're about this
size?
twice.
I tell you, there aren't any measurements.
Oh, yes.
Okay? It's this big of a piece. Double this size. What size is that? An inch? 2 inches? 5 inches? The world may never know. But that's okay. We just go... We gonna see how this go.
Nothing is measured. It's
Nothing.
just by the eyes.
So your eyes are the window to the soul and
Yes.
to your stomach.
Yes.
Okay. So you chopped all of this up, Reese, correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So what's next?
We're gonna blend it now into the blender.
Question: Is this the original way of doing ginger beer?
This is my way. It's different version of doing ginger beer.
Yeah.
Because some people do it differently. Some people actually peel off all the skin. I just scrape off the top layer of the skin.
Got you.
And yeah, and rinse it off,
I would say that was probably about 4 cups of ginger. But that is me.
Yeah.
Probably. You'll agree with anything I say at this point.
Whatever you want to say.
So we're pouring
Water to blend it.
water so that we can blend it. And then this is what it looks like once the blending is done.
Don't put the...
Yeah, exactly. Right.
No, I'm looking to put it to this the last batch.
You're not blending the ginger to make it fine. You're just wanting to mince it up, basically, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. And Reese is cutting the rest of that ginger. Okay, you can't leave it. This is the hot water on the stove. It's already been boiled. And this is to make the ginger beer itself. We're now throwing the blended ginger mix into the hot water.
And this will stay here for a couple of hours. And then we will mix it. We will strain the ginger. Turn off the stove. And let it sit for about 3 hours.
So right now we're just letting it steep.
Then after it's done, we will strain it. Mix it with sugar. Oh, my secret ingredient.
She's giving you guys the secret.
I add my cloves.
And that really makes it.
It
That's what
brings
makes
it-
everyone come to her house for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And again, there's no measurement.
And there's no measurement. She just throwing clothes. Just fling them right in the pot.
Cover it. And in a couple of hours, we will mix our ginger.
Now you might be like, well, why did she put a plate on top of the pot? Because sometimes you lose the covers for pots. And ain't nothing wrong with a pot, they just don't have a cover. He's still gonna keep it and use it. Hello, that's what we do in the Caribbean. I don't know what y'all do in y'all house, but we keep pots in the family forever and ever, amen. Whether you have a cover, you don't have a cover, it gonna get used. Hence the reason why we're using this.
So while we're waiting for the gingerbread, we can begin the sweetbread process.
All right, we are getting ready to make the sweetbread. Right now, my aunt is getting all of the ingredients out on the counter, and then we're gonna put everything in. This is my auntie's bag of spices. It has nutmeg, there's cloves in here. This is fresh nutmeg, like off a tree, okay? Probably from St. Lucia, St. Vincent or something.
I think it was St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, when we went there in 2016, she did have nutmeg. Then this is fresh cinnamon. Almost every Caribbean household has a bag like this. Truly, every single one has a bag of nutmeg and cinnamon and cloves and star anise and all that good stuff. This is the coconut. So it's grated coconut. Inside this bag has about three small coconuts grated. These are coconuts from their backyard. And she's not going to use all of the coconut that was in the bag because she wants to make it to use some dumplings for later. I would say this is maybe about 4 to 5 cups of grated coconut.
About that.
You'll notice she'll agree with everything I say because she don't know. It's
But
all
that's
by
an
the
estimation.
eyes.
It's an estimation. Okay, about a pound.
All right, so a pound of flour is what, and again, she's gonna do this by eyes.
Yeah.
This is not going to be by, and she doesn't even have any measuring cup, no teaspoon. This is the spoon that she has, and that is her barometer, okay?
And that's just for
That's just a spin. That's just to mix everything. No measurements whatsoever, people. None.
Okay, so that's the flour. So now we're gonna add the nutmeg. Which we're gonna be grinding. This is about, maybe by the time we finish, be about a spoon.
What kind of spoon?
A tablespoon.
Okay, so a tablespoon of nutmeg. But you would need that much because of the amount of flour and coconut that's in there.
And it'd be about the same amount of spice, which is cinnamon.
Cinnamon. She has the tiniest grater in all the land.
I actually have a big one, but
This is convenient.
yeah.
Use 4 tablespoons of butter. At least we got one measurement, everybody. We got one. We're making progress. Crisco.
Which is a shortening. And this is the butter flavor one.
Alright, so we're doing the butter flavored shortening with the Crisco.
So we're going to do the same, 4 tablespoons.
That's what we're putting in there. That's 1 tablespoon. Oh Lord, Jesus.
But I had one already inside, okay?
Gotcha,
So I'm doing
okay.
like 3 tablespoons.
Got it.
And then to this, you just add a little bit of flour, just to take a rice,
And this is the yeast.
a little bit of sugar.
And we add some more water. So 3 tablespoons of yeast, a sprinkle of flour, a sprinkle of sugar, and some hot water. And this is just to help the yeast rise.
Sugar, main ingredient.
It's important to add sugar to your sweet bread.
The main ingredient. Measure and get a measure properly. She's happy with what I have right now.
We're using white sugar, but it doesn't have to be white sugar. You can use brown sugar.
I want to make sure I show you the so then it's gonna be like 2 cups.
So 2 cups of sugar in your sweet bread.
Sometimes the coconut does already have water in it, so you just have to eye and see. Oh, raisin goes in there too.
Raisins,
So
okay.
I'm just mixing this up until to break up the
butter and the Crisco.
It's gonna be made like it's like bread. It's
Gotcha.
not gonna be like cake.
So it's not going to be liquidy.
No.
Got you. It's gonna have a little liquid, but not too much. It's important to get in there with your hands, as you can see.
Like the little bubble is already rising.
Yeah.
You can actually try it now, so you can mix everything.
Okay.
But before you actually start to mix up, I'm gonna taste to see if anything more need to add it. Like
Got it. Maybe you need to add a little bit more nutmeg or a little bit more cinnamon.
this is where Reese come in. He will come and add it.
Got you. So you mix, put everything together, and then once you're done, he'll come and taste and determine if anything else needs to get added.
I need one more thing. Look right there and see my vanilla essence.
Definitely have to add the vanilla essence. This one is from St. Kitts that my aunt bought during the agriculture fair that we have here on St. Croix, typically every February. Due to COVID, they had it this year, but next year it's actually going to be in May. That's the word on the street. So it'll be a little later in the year, but we're still gonna have it. And people from all sorts of different islands come and they sell their agricultural goods. And so it's a really good time to taste a lot of the flavor of St. Croix and of the Caribbean right there at the Ag Fair. It's a 3-day affair. It's always pretty good.
Watch me,
right.
and I didn't even add any water to it.
So no water has been added. This is just the yeast, the coconut, and all the ingredients you guys saw us add.
Just add some more flour and then
So because it's a little too wet, we're gonna add some more flour to dry it up a little bit.
oh, the raisin.
Also got to add the raisins. It can't be sweet bread if you don't have raisins. That's not necessarily a rule, but that's just our rule. And we've already tasted it a couple times to make sure that it has the right flavor. And my aunt is currently trying to get all the residue, all the flour and everything off the side of the bowls. So we had to add more flour because it was still a bit too wet. And Auntie Sarah, what were you saying about?
You need to make it into a bread. So in order to do that, you have to add more flour.
Got it. Don't be shy with the flour. That's basically what you're saying?
No, don't be shy with the flour. But if you add flour, make sure you add more spice.
To balance out the flavors.
See, it's coming on.
She working hard, you know. She's sweating. Now it's really coming together.
Yeah, so we're gonna roll it out. Okay.
Right now you are rolling it kind of like in a log.
Like in a log, and then we're gonna put it in the pan, which I haven't started yet. And it's gonna be going on for about an hour at 350.
So for 1 hour at 350. Now, would you put these in individual loaf pans, or you're putting it in one?
In one dish, baking
One dish. Gotcha. This is how we have it,
Pinch.
and then my aunt pinched them at the top. What's the purpose of pinching?
It's just a decoration.
Oh, so you just give it a little decoration when they come out. We'll see. Now these are going to go into the oven for an hour at 350 degrees. My aunt keeps eating the dough. See, she pinched it off there. But I can remember eating this with my grandmother when she would make it. Distinctly remember eating the raw dough. And it was fine because she was like, ain't no eggs in it, ain't no problem. And I would eat the dough so much that I wouldn't eat the bread when it was time to eat it. Of course, you want to make sure that you grease the pan before you put them in. And that's them there. All right. Of course, I'll have a little glass of coquito as I wait for the ginger beer and the sweet bread to be ready. Cheers! Of course, don't worry. I'm going to show you guys how to make coquito. That is coming up next. It can't be Christmas in the Virgin Islands without coquito, okay? So I'll make sure to show you how to make it. For the the ginger beer, my aunt said that she would leave it overnight and then she would strain it and do everything in the morning. But due to the timing constraint and me wanting to capture it for video, we're gonna move ahead. It's been steeping now for about 2 hours, which is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're gonna go ahead and, by we, I mean she, and I'm gonna record it. We're gonna strain it and you guys will see what that looks like. I wish I could smell this ginger. Oh, it's so good. Auntie Sarah, why do they call it ginger beer? And it's not ginger drink. Why is it ginger beer?
I'm not sure why they call it ginger beer. That's how I know growing up that what it
Was it ever fermented, so that's why it was considered to be beer?
Maybe because they have it sitting for a while in order to get the flavor out of it.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll take it.
Okay.
I'll do a Google search on that later. And now we're putting it through the strainer so that we can capture any remnants of the ginger. Right now we're adding in the sugar. Because of the quantity of ginger beer, you have to add enough sugar so that you could have some sort of sweetness with it. And sometimes you might have to add more water because it might be too hot and too spicy. So you need to dilute it a little bit. Taste this.
Definitely water.
So it's a bit too spicy.
Stir it. And that's it. You just store it and drink it with ice.
That's it. You see the smile on her face? That means she's very happy with it. And now we're going to continue straining and tasting, and then when it's all done, we bottle it up, put it in the fridge, and she's good to go. So let me go ahead and try a little. Woo. Oh no, not too bad. It's good.
Not yet.
Has a little kick. Woo. It's so good. We ran out of sugar. I had to make a plaza run. And now we're adding the sugar. As you can see, my aunt has filled up the pot. She's drained all of the ginger mixture from the pot that it was soaking in. She's added water, put it in this bigger pot, and we've added the sugar. I'm gonna get to taste it.
Might still be strong.
No man, might need some more sugar. Try it and see. Sugar, yeah. Sugar.
It's a little strong, but I don't mind.
You know, ain't too bad. It got a nice kick. And then when we add rum to it, even better. I'd add rum. She don't add rum to hers, but I'd add rum to it. You know, Thanksgiving, I was so gone. I went home and I passed out.
You pass out?
How you mean? One time. I had my food, I went to sleep. Whew. It's officially done. It definitely have a kick. But we have completed it. And all it is, you have to taste and try and add more water and add more sugar and taste and try. With this, it's trial and error. There's no foolproof recipe that this is the recipe and every time you do it like this, it's gonna be right. Because sometimes you might have some ginger that might be more intense than others, just because of how it's grown and where it's grown. If it's locally grown versus something being flown in, it'll have different properties to it. And that's just how, that's cooking. Taste and try. But that's ginger beer. So I want to thank my Aunt Sarah for all your help in showing us how to make ginger beer for the Christmas time holidays.
Anytime.
This is really the only time she really make ginger beer, you know.
Which is true, because this is the only time I actually have time.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But yeah, she don't really make this anytime, but we're going to put them in the big.
1 gallon barrel.
It's going to be a good Christmas. Don't forget to like my page and my channel, subscribe, make sure you turn on those notifications because of course more videos, more vlogs are coming to you. I'm going to go and help my aunt bottle up these ginger beer and gonna be all done with this. And that's gonna be that. More Vlogmas to come, more cruise and foodie, more food, more fun in the Caribbean. Stay tuned. Bye.